All right, we're here at the Joliet Catholic Academy Victory Light Quad here for a celebration in honor of Dan Sharp and his fantastic head coaching career at Joliet Catholic for football. We're also welcoming Jake Jaworski on his new mission forward here. I'm Jeff Phelan, president of the Alumni Association, and I've got Francis Rudiger here with me, the one and only Rudy. Rudy, tell us a little bit some of your favorite memories of Dan Sharp during your time.
God. Well, the first favorite memory is when he made the phone call in 1997 to my house. I didn't even know who Dan was, and he said he was the new Joliet Catholic head coach. He asked me if I wanted to be part of his staff, and I said, sure, I'd love to. And so that's been history ever since. And the biggest funny memories of Dan was how he would emulate Gordy sometimes about how he would talk to the kids on the field. It's just hilarious how he picked up on Gordy and brought into his own personality. It was just absolutely hilarious.
I'd say it's all worked out pretty well over the years.
Oh, my God, yeah. 20 years later, and 6 state championships and 2 second place, and we had some great runs. After that, it's just been, it's not only what Dan does, it's just how he teaches life lessons to the kids. That's the main thing with him.
Yeah. And tell a little bit, your time, you've done such a good job with the strength training and just the relationships with the boys over the years. And you see people walking into this thing now that spent time coming through the program, playing for Dan, playing with Jaws, and spending time at Rudy's gym. What keeps you rolling on that all these years?
What keeps me rolling is seeing the kids after they get out of my place and out of high school and college. Because I tell the kids, the most important part of their life is high school. You want to cherish high school every chance you can. After that, it becomes a job. Everything after high school becomes a job. You have to do something, to prove that you're worth it. In high school, you can go have fun and enjoy yourself. And I enjoy seeing the kids when they get married, seeing their kids. I'm actually getting a lot of their kids now into the gym. So it's kind of a revolving door for that, and it just fills my heart with a lot of love for that.
I know my son Luke had a great time with you. He's off at college now doing his thing, and it is a little bit more of a job, but he still loves it because of what you taught him. I got another skinny one to put in for you, too, to beef up for me.
We'll take care of him, too.
Thanks, Rudy.
Nice
Appreciate having you here tonight. You bet, bud.
Appreciate it.
All right, we're here with Jeff Buds, the president of Joliet Catholic Academy. Jeff, looks like we got a great night tonight. Beautiful weather. Great night to celebrate a wonderful career of Dan, as the football coach and the leader of the football program here at Joliet. And a really exciting time as it transitions to one of his own, Jake, moving forward. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts just on the football program and on memories of Dan's job over the years.
Well, what can you say? 6 championships, 20 years, countless men that he's shaped, boys to men that come back and look at his guidance as not just on the football field but off the football field. He's always a teacher first.
Yeah.
And that Jake has that same quality about him. Everyone at Joliet Catholic really cares about the kids, and then Dan and Jake especially, they really care about the kid first, and then him as an athlete and as a student. So I think it's going to be a smooth transition. We can't ask for a better guy to take over the program, and Dan's just been wonderful, and we're so grateful that Dan is staying on as our AD. It's just been a pleasure to work with Dan for the last 13 years, and I know that we'll find a lot of success with Jake. So we're excited. We're very excited about the school year.
It's great. He's really a blue blood hilltopper. Jake is excited to come in himself. Any favorite memories with Dan over the years? Good stories to tell?
Just that Dan's a different type of person on the golf course, and he's a very intense kind of guy. When he's coaching and in his job, he's very professional. On the golf course, he's more laid back, and it's good to see that side of him too. I was telling recently, I think he's lost 20 pounds, and since he retired from the job, and he has the biggest smile in the school now.
Right.
And he's the guy who walks around the hallways with not a care in the world. So I said, let's make sure that you maintain that attitude, and but I'm glad we're seeing that side of him now more. That I don't want to say there's not a lot of pressure being a head football coach, but it's as much as you put on yourself.
Sure.
But I hope Jake can take a step back too sometimes and kind of enjoy the whole aspect of coaching. I had a great conversation with Jake the other day, and he was giddy. He was because he had his first practice about dealing with things like this.
Yeah,
where he,
right.
he didn't talk about to the IHSA about anything or talk to the newspapers about anything. It was more like I was in front of my kids, I was coaching, I was really, I was getting into it. I'm like, that's awesome, Jake. I mean, that's what it's all about, So, and he was teaching those kids, and I think, as you said, Dan and Jake are teachers first. They do a great job of getting their lessons to our relayed in a great way to our kids.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to say it. Teachers first. Jake's such an ultra-competitive guy, but he really, like Dan, loves working with the boys and loves seeing the end product, making better boys and better men first, and football, sort of falls in place after that.
I mean, the mantra of the football program is how you walk off that field, whether you win or lose.
Right.
And you lose with grace and dignity, right? Exactly. And I think that's a lesson that our kids have learned over the years, and you'll see tonight in this event here, all his former players come in and honoring Dan because of the impact he's had on so many people. So
he's off to a great start already. They're jamming the doors. It's going to be a great night tonight. We're excited to celebrate. Thanks for all you do, Jeff.
All right, buddy.
We appreciate it. Looking forward to a great time.
All right.
Hey, we are here with Dick Goss, local sporting legend in the Joliet area. The Herald News is Dick Goss.
I don't know about that.
Well, you have seen a lot over your years, certainly, and even preceding Dan's time. But tell us a little bit about your years here locally and covering local sports, and Dan in particular, his impact on that.
Well, I'm so old that I go back to the days when I was a junior at Catholic High when I started working part-time in sports for the Herald News, and it was 1967. Bob Droskowski was a sports editor. He hired Dave Parker and myself to work part-time. Dave is here somewhere tonight.
Yes.
And we did that for up until the time that I went down to the U of I, went to college. That was about 15 months or so of part-time work at the Herald News. Then I'd work in the summers when I'd come home. Then I went to Springfield to work for 11 years, 72 to 83. And a good part of that time I was working for the State Journal Register down there in Springfield. And I got an opportunity to come back to Joliet in 1983 to become the sports editor. I took it, and I've been here ever since and enjoying it. And as far as Dan is concerned, of course, I covered him in his St. Francis days as an assistant coach, in his Manuka days as a head coach, and as the head coach at Joliet Catholic. He's a great friend, and obviously was a great football coach. And everybody always used to talk about Dan being the little Gordy, because he had the same sort of system, was the same sort of coach, and had basically the same success as Gordy had.
Sure.
Gordy had the 4 state championships in a row and 5 altogether, and Dan has 6. So it's the two of them are this way in Joliet Catholic lore.
Yeah.
And of course they were great friends, and until Gordy's last year or two on this earth, you'd see him on the sidelines, talking to the quarterbacks who weren't in the game at the time. Maybe talking to a quarterback who is in the game at the time when the defense is on the field, and imparting his knowledge. And they just work together so well, and it's really nice to see a night where Dan is being honored tonight.
Yeah, really deserves it. He was certainly, as you said, by Gordy, taught really, really well, and he obviously absorbed all those lessons and did a heck of a good job putting it to practice, and not only getting results on the football field, but you'll see like a night like this, the impact he's had on the lives of a lot of young men and Hilltoppers that played for him over the years.
Well, it isn't with Gordy, with Dan, it isn't just coaching football for guys like that.
Right.
It's the relationships that you build with people, and that's what's most important to them, and that led to their success, I think.
And football is just the result of that.
Yeah, it's football's a religion here, of course. Joliet Catholic football is it, but there was so much more, like I said, so much more to it than just going out on a practice field and drawing up some X's and O's and everything. It was building relationships with people that would become lifelong friendships, and that's what it was all about. So, and you can see a lot of people here tonight that remember that.
Well, Jake's cut from the same cloth, excited to be a part of it. Definitely kind of shares those same values that Dan has. What about any comments on your early work with Jake here as he gets ready for his maiden voyage?
Well, I've always enjoyed Jake. Of course, seen him for a lot of years, not only in football but in the dugout in baseball, working with Jared Voss with the baseball team. And Jake is a very, very good, down-to-earth guy. I know he mentioned to me earlier tonight he's not quite so sure. He wishes this program would get over because he's not too fond of public speaking. But no, but he's a great guy, and Dan always spoke very highly of him and what he did for the Joliet Catholic football program. And I know Jared the same with the baseball program. So I think Jake is going to do a great job. It'd sure be nice to see the all that experience that the young sophomores of last year picked up, see it turn into good successful varsity players this year. That'd be great, and I think it could happen because they do have enough talent in other guys, offensive backfield, for instance, a lot of talent there, and I think that people could be a little bit surprised at how good this team is.
Yeah. I think a lot of that kind of battlefield practice you got last year in the middle of it, guys getting thrown in early, really
and the
helps
other
down
side,
the road.
flip side of that is the East Suburban Catholic is always tough.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of tough competition there, so we'll see. I think if JCA could get to the playoffs this year and get to those 5A playoffs, I think they could really be a factor.
Yeah, and I think these guys are going to be really, like you said, surprise some people this year, and they're definitely going to play hard for Jake. He's such a competitive guy, but like Dan, just a guy who really cares about the kids first, and I think that'll show on the football field.
I think you're right there, Brian. So thank you very much.
You got it, Dick. Thanks for everything you do for JCA too.
Well, thank you.
You bet. Have a great night.
Okay.
All right, hey, we're here with one of the co-honorees of tonight's event. This is Jake Jaworski, new head coach of the Hilltopper football program here at JCA, who we're really excited to have. But Jake, before you start as a new head coach, you came from not only being a coach with Dan, who'll be honored here tonight for his great career, but as a player for Dan. Right. Tell us a little bit about just some of your favorite memories and your time under Dan and what that's meant to you as you move into this new position.
I think the first, the memories that stick out is being a two-time state champion, in 2000 and 2001.
That takes the edge off things.
Takes the edge off things, yeah, definitely. But Coach Sharp and the leader that he was, as he was fairly new, in his fourth, fifth year, back at Joliet Catholic, it was always more than about just the wins and whatnot. It was the life lessons that he taught, and every day out at practice, it was something different. Those were some times where we were winning a lot of football games, and there was pressure and whatnot, but Dan never let us feel that pressure. It was still having fun. It was relaxed. It was high school football. So just the memories and the guys that are here tonight, our classmates that I played with. It's the friendships that came along with playing football at Joliet Catholic, and Coach Dan harvested those relationships through the game of football. Yeah,
and we're seeing that as everybody pours in here tonight. Just some of the familiar faces and friends that haven't seen each other for years, and this is just such a common bond in their life, which is great. And we talked earlier with a couple other folks that we interviewed that, who spoke that you're very similar to Dan in that regard, that it's really about the kids, making young men, teaching them the lessons of life, and that what happens on the football field is actually a result of those things you teach those guys.
Exactly. It was never about wins and losses with Dan, but it was the wins became a byproduct of the lessons and the values that he taught us, to work hard, to persevere, to never give up, to strive for excellence. He never let us settle, even though we were pretty successful during those times. He never let us one of his things he used to yell at practice if we were having a bad practice was just slippage. He never let us just kind of coast through. It was always striving for excellence.
Yeah, that's great. So as you head into the maiden voyage here, thoughts on the upcoming year? Are you nervous? What's going through your head right now?
Well, I think when you take a position like this with the history and tradition, there's some anxious energy involved. But from the get-go, with meeting with the players and whatnot, that these kids are on a mission. They took some lumps last year, but from early on in December, out at Rudy's lifting weights to our spring conditioning sessions on Sunday mornings, the turnout's been great. And what I think you'll see out of these kids is they're relentless and they love to compete. Yeah. So we're excited. We're excited.
My son Luke played for you a couple of years ago. He's off in college now, and they remember so fondly playing for you. I mean, he would run through a wall for you. I think there may have been a few times we actually had him run through a wall physically at practice.
Yeah, Luke Phelan is just your old school throwback Joliet Catholic player. Just wore his heart on his sleeve and gave you every inch that he had, every inch, every pound, and was a heck of a two-year starter for us.
Complete opposite of his old man.
That's right. Better looking too.
So give us one good story. You got to have one good story in there about Dan. Give us some juice. Anything good, something funny? Let me prime the pump. Did you know that Dan was my freshman basketball coach here at Joliet Catholic and actually left me behind at Notre Dame and Niles with 6 other guys after the game? That was back in the days when you could leave people behind at games.
And not get sued or.
The more amazing part is that he actually came back to get me. I think if there were other guys, if there weren't other guys there, he would have just kept on going. But look what a glutton for punishment I am. He's such a good guy. I'm back.
Yes, just kind of one. I don't know if anybody will think it's funny, but I was a punt returner back in the day. I played defensive back and could catch the ball a little bit, and I'd like to think I was a pretty good punt returner. And every once in a while at practice, you'd let one slip through the hands, and coach would yell, "What happened with Jake Jaworski? Who took Jake Jaworski? And who are you back there?" So Coach, I never dropped one in a game. All right, never dropped. You could trust me. So it was junior year against Marist, and it was a rainy night, and sure enough, punt goes up, and it's the loneliest feeling when you're a punt returner because you got 11 guys bearing down on you. Ball's in the air. Now it's raining, and ball slips through my hands, and luckily enough, we had a pretty good lead, sizable lead at the time, and they recovered it. So, you come in and you feel pretty good about yourself after the win, but you just know on films on over the weekend that that's going to come up at some point.
Slippage. Slippage.
Yeah. So we get to the point of the film, and where we were filming from, I forgot what it was, but I think it was a rainy night, so I think our camera was inside. So when it panned across, it hit a little divider in the window, and the play, you couldn't see that I was the one that dropped the ball. So I was like, "Coach, that wasn't even me out there. I don't know what you were talking about."
No proof. Timing is everything.
Yeah, so, just one memory. Another memory just from, to be an example of the guy that Coach Sharp is, not just a coach, but before my senior year, I got mono, and I was sick, and I ended up in the hospital for a few days, and we had a team function that I missed, and, Coach showed up at the hospital just to swing by, let me know that he was thinking of me, and, that they were anxious to have me back. So, just the kind of guy that he is.
Nice touch. Yeah. Right. Well, good, man. We're awesome. We're excited to have you. Looking forward to a great year for you. A great start on the new voyage, and a great guy to be carrying on the tradition, man. We're excited. It's going to be a great night tonight. I know you got a lot of buddies that are coming back that you played with, but also guys who've played under you that are excited to be here too.
Right,
so
cool.
glad to have you. Looking forward to it, man.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jeff.
Good job, Jake.
Appreciate it.
All right, everybody. We are here with the honoree of the evening, our special guest. The guy we all love, and we're all really happy to celebrate tonight for such a great job. Coach Dan Sharp, congratulations on a fantastic career.
Thank you.
Tell us what it makes you feel like when you see all guys that have played for you and that coached with you, stepping in on a night. Is it bittersweet? Is it happy? What do you feel?
It's very happy, and thanks to you for organizing this along with Sue B. Barr. It's wonderful. It's really it's the best wake I've ever been to.
You do look a little pasty. Let me get some color back into you here.
No, I see a lot of my old players, guys I went to school with, parents of kids that I coached, and I don't know what words could describe it, but the feeling inside is just the 20 years have been very special. And all my years at Joliet Catholic, back when I coached you back in the 80s, I was here for 7 years. All those years were special, but it was always about family. To be the Hilltoppers, a certain brotherhood, a certain family, and there's a love, and I really feel that tonight. I treasured every minute coaching these kids, and to see them all here today, and married, and some kids, and it's just it fills me with pride.
Yeah.
And so thank you for allowing this to happen. I'm not the most comfortable in these settings, to be honest with you, with this part of it. But I love standing out there telling stories. And
this is why I like doing this to you, too.
I know.
Right?
I know. You like to make me
returning the favor.
Yeah.
You had me for algebra. I didn't know a thing about math. Right? We're even.
Well, I hope you at least learned one thing.
Right. What time class started? That was all. Don't be late. So tell us, we had Jake up here before, too. And he's just so excited to get started. Now, we had Jake give a little juice on you. Give us a good story on Jake. Tell us a little bit about your favorite stories about Jake and just what you see for Jake going forward.
Well, I'll tell you what. As a player, Jake was a receiver. And I'll bet you didn't weigh 130 pounds his junior year. And we had him playing wide receiver. And we had JR and Gruber, so you imagine how many times we were using wide receivers. Right?
Right. Go get him some water.
So, yeah. So we said, let's put him on defense. And he was unbelievable at cornerback and safety. And we had a run in the playoff games that year where he knocked the best offensive player for 3 opponents 3 weeks in a row, knocked him out of the game. So then he became the Polish assassin.
Right.
He was, and then his last game, he's the Coca-Cola player of the game. He made about 8 touchdown saving tackles on a great quarterback from Metamora named Stamps. And just his guts, the way he's a quiet kid, still is. Did you get 4 words out of him in the interview? I don't know, did you?
Squeezed. It was tough. We wrung it out over time.
But he showed me a lot then, became a captain. We won 2 titles with him playing. And then as a coach, he's done a tremendous job and stepped in as defensive coordinator. And that's when I knew he's going to be the next guy. He's just his organization, his teaching. And he has that competitive spirit still that he had when he's 130-pound safety,
right.
knocking guys out of
the Wolverine.
The Wolverine, yeah.
So what do you think for Jake going forward? What's it feel like in a first year from what even you remember?
Well, I remember my first year here, and it's exciting and nervy. I mean, it's like he realizes what this program means to our community, and he takes it serious. And that was a big part of him taking it over, that he's doing it the Hilltopper way.
Yeah.
It started back with Gordy. And all the guys, when Jim Boyder and Bob Stone, myself, and Jake's the next in that line. I know he's feeling the excitement. He's got a good group of kids. He's got a great staff. He's going to do a tremendous job. No one's going to work harder. No one's going to put more into it than Jake. And our fans will give him great support. I just hope they're patient with him like they were with me at the start and understand that this guy is going to continue to push the bar upward.
Yep.
He's going to continue to have these kids stand on the shoulders of those that came before him and meet that standard. So I watched a couple practices, and I felt very good because I felt I could let it go. It's in good hands, and he's doing a great job. So, I know he's got a lot of emotions going on, but in that first Friday night, I'm glad. It's kind of good it's on the road.
Right, yeah.
I think the first home game's going to be
shake the bugs out.
Yeah. So I'm real pleased with where he's at right now, and I know he's going to do a great job.
Well, and I know he admitted he's similar to you in that regard, like Gordy too, that it's about the young men first and building good young men, and football is just what happens after that.
Jake was one of the most humble people that I've ever worked with and coached, so he's bringing that same personality to his coaching. It is all about the young men.
Yep.
It's about doing it the right way, doing it by following the rules. We've always prided ourselves on that. We can win by doing it the right way, and we've proven that. And he's just one really good coach, too, on top of it. He knows his stuff. So it's the right person for the right job. And he's got a great staff around him. The coaches that are here, many of them I coached with, I coached. I think the whole staff. So they understand too, and I think that's great support for Jake too. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's been a pleasure watching you do what you do, all the way back from when your brother Jimmy and I were buddies back in the St. Pat's neighborhood, all the way through. You taught me, you taught one of my sons. So proud of that. He loved the whole experience of playing for you and Jake too, and he is just like what's kind of really rolling through this place right now. The pride of those relationships is really strong. Well, I think Luke played on one of the best teams, and Luke was one heck of a player. I was so glad we finally got an athlete in the Phelan family. You've been long overdue. Yeah. No, but you guys were great when we ran our 5-man lines, man-to-man defense in freshman basketball. So good that you left me behind at Notre Dame. The other way you're like Jake, is you say you hate public speaking, then you guys both knock it out of the park, you couple of sandbaggers. Get out of here, you knucklehead. Thanks a lot, Jeff. Love you too. Congrats. You take care. Have a great night. I will. I'm going to enjoy it. I know you will. Coming out tonight, on behalf of the Alumni Association, we really appreciate everybody coming out to support this event. And in doing so, you're supporting Hilltopper football and all these boys getting ready to go to war again here soon in just a few weeks, with a new coach, no less. What we're also doing here is recognizing some great performance. It's pretty amazing if you stop and think about it, that as much as we care about this stuff, it's pretty amazing that this is the first time we've ever done anything like this.
This really ought to be a recurring thing. Everybody could rally a few more guys up and do this on a regular basis. I think we're pretty good at it. Can't promise a top country artist every time we do this, but we can give it a good whirl. Well, thank you everyone again for coming out. What we're really here tonight to do is to celebrate Hilltopper football, and in the course of doing that, it's just to celebrate a sustained period of excellence by particularly one guy who has meant so much to a lot of people here tonight. And I think the overwhelming theme with him is that this is really never about football. This is about friendships and relationships and camaraderie, and that's why it's so nice to see so many familiar faces and even new ones come in the door tonight to celebrate. It's really one of the most important and cool aspects of Hilltopper football. I think we all agree. I mean, we all love watching the football games, but this is what we all really love because this lasts a heck of a lot longer than the football does, right? So what I'd like to do, in recognition, though, of some of that football excellence, I'd like to recognize a couple of our state championship teams that have anniversaries this year. I don't know how many of you guys are here, but we'll go through each team quickly, and if you're here, I'll have you raise your hands. Hopefully we get a good showing. Before we do that, I would like to propose a toast. There's someone who's not here tonight who I'm really just, sad that he's not here because he would have loved to have been here. We lost a good one this summer. A good friend of mine, an 86 grad on the 85 team with me, the middle linebacker, Chris Clinton, passed away after a very courageous and short but brutal battle with cancer. And Chris had just moved back into town and loved everything that all of this stood for. So for good old number 52, I'd like to ask everybody, raise a can for Kid 52 to the Clint. Everybody have a sip. Cheers. Go Hill. He deserves that. All right, let's start off with some anniversaries. First of all, our 77 team. Raise your hand if you were on the 77 team and you're here tonight. Anchor in the corner back there. Is that Mr. Nani? Carberry? All right. 77 team, third time was definitely the charm. Undefeated, 13-0. Outscored their opponents 394 to 46. You don't hear much of that anymore. 46 points goes up in a game anymore these days. The only game that they had that had a margin of victory less than 10 was their opening game. And that's guys like Dave Abens and Dave Matichak, Jim Nani over in the corner, John Piazza, which, think about it, back in 1977, there really wasn't such thing as guys who were three-time All-State high school football players. So one of the first who really kind of created that legacy here, and a lot of guys have followed it up. And then I think there were somewhere in the neighborhood of like 31 Tyrrell brothers on that team, all on defense. Congrats to the 77 team. Okay, gotcha. Garabella. And from 77, we actually have a guest who I'm going to guess definitely takes the award for longest distance traveled. Raise your hand, Mark. Mark Garavaglia is here from the Netherlands. Where are you at, Mark? Do they have direct flights to Joliet? Congrats to the 77 team on your anniversary, fellas. Thanks for joining us tonight. Following that, how about our team in 1987, a Jim Boyder-led team that went 12-2 after a 3-2 start. They allowed less than 63 yards a game that year, so some serious Hilltopper defense, and beat Peoria Richwoods 14-13 with a score in the final 2 minutes. It was just a great end to a state championship game. I know there's a bunch of you guys here. Where are you at? I saw Mike Kelly. Who else is here? Johnny Lausch is here. Johnny Lausch, pending U.S. attorney. Hilltopper done well. Is that Mike Alston? Mark Alston? Mark, how you doing, bud? That's the bald thing. It throws me every time. That's why I wear this stupid hat. Congrats to the 87 guys. I know we got a bunch of guys here from this group. How about the 07 guys? Raise your hand if you were on the 07 team, fellas. Hiding. The 07 team is JC's only 6A championship team. 13-1 conference champs. Lost 21-20 in the first week to Mount Carmel, the only loss of the season. Went on to outscore their opponents 649 to 155. Not bad. Which is an average of 11 points a game on defense allowed. Set an IHSA record for the most total yards gained that year, which is insane. 6,651 yards, 5,053 on the ground, in case you were wondering. 1,598 through the air, averaging 475 a game. I guess you do put up a few points if you can lay down 475 a game. Had 3 backs over 1,000 yards that year. Tyler Huditz, Brandon Geis, and Connor Krish. And Connor went on to score 4 touchdowns in the championship game, which at the time was a 6A IHSA record. On D, you had guys like Clancy and Greeny. Greenback's here, I know, somewhere, isn't he? Still coaching. Greeny, how you doing, you sandbagger? You didn't raise your hand before. All right. All right, congratulations to the 07 guys. All right, let's get down to it. Let's call up a guy who has meant as much to this program as anybody who's ever taken part of it, and we all know that's saying something. A guy who really bleeds brown, has forever, and because of the importance of this to him is why we're all here today, just in terms of why this is just such an important thing for us to cut into our schedules and do, because I know how busy everybody is these days, so it's great to see all the smiling faces. Guys, put your hands together for a guy who really deserves it and had a great career. Let's welcome former head coach, but still our beloved athletic director, Dan Sharp. Come on up, Dan. I have to say, I played for Dan before he was a head coach, and I think in one of Dan's more prescient talent evaluation moments, as a football player, he would probably describe me as an under-average basketball player. And as a basketball player, he left me behind after a basketball game at Notre Dame of Niles. Now, those are back in the days when you could leave people behind. And he really only came back because there were 5 other guys that he forgot too. Otherwise, if it was just me, I think he would have left. But glutton for punishment that I am, I'm still here. I came back, and I'm really proud that I did. And it's great to see you earn this honor that's so deserved. We so appreciate everything you've done over the years. Thanks, Dan. Thank you.
Jeff did well in geography class. He did find his way back. But the real reason we went back there is we left the ball bag. This is overwhelming. To see so many of the young men that I've coached and the guys I've coached with, the parents of the young men that came here, and the 20 years just flew by. I've been truly blessed. Truly blessed. And this is, emotionally, I don't even know how I could put into words how I feel tonight. Because when we talk about Joliet Catholic football, we always talk about there's something special about the guys in brown, the boys in brown. It's always been a team. We have the most team championships in the history of Illinois because it's always about the team. There's a certain camaraderie and a brotherhood. There's a standard that was set long ago by a man that taught us how to do it the right way. And Gordy, God rest your soul, we're still trying to reach that standard you have set. You know, when I coached for 20 years, I would always tell people, I can't promise you if we're going to win a title, a championship, but the one thing I felt that we could always promise you was that you'll be proud of the effort of the team on that field. You'll be proud of the way they represent your school, your community. Yes, we are set to a higher standard, the standard you have set. We stand on the shoulders of all those Hillmen that came before us, understanding what the victory light means. The first time they put the victory light on the helmet was 1975. No surprises, that was the first of the 13 state championships. And that symbol meant the effort to achieve excellence. It was our family crest that we took into every game, every battle with us. And when Sister Faith asked me to come back, she allowed us to put that victory light back on our helmet to represent the old school, along with the halo to help represent the Angels as we formed this new wonderful, wonderful school, JCA. And look what we're standing around today. It's amazing. Here we have that victory light right here that all of you have done, that Dr. Buds helped happen with John Horn, getting the committee and forming and getting the funds to do this beautiful place that we're at right now. And you can't help but look at it with pride. You see it on the back of cars. You could be out of town anywhere in the country or in the world and people will recognize it. That's because of the standard that you have set. How special it is to be part of this wonderful school. I am so fortunate that I was able to be part of it as a student. My mom and dad, Bill and Pat Sharp, had 5 boys, and they sacrificed to send all of us to Joliet Catholic. And I was so fortunate because that's where the education, that's where we learned how to do it, the Carmelite, Franciscan, and of course to do it the right way, with one another, together, to never give up. And then I married Jean, my wife, who's been tremendous support for me for the last 40 years, and she gave me the greatest gift in the world, my son Dan, who inspires me every day when I see the man he is, how hard he works, and how well he treats people, and how successful he is. And they sacrificed so I could work at Joliet Catholic. And it's a team effort. It's a team effort from family and people that allowed me to stay here for so long. I'm a very small part of all this. All the guys out there that I coached, all your children that I coached, all the guys that I've coached with, whether it be here, a dear friend of mine, Mike Briscoe, who coached with Rob Torsha over at Manuka, are here. All the people that know and understand what football means to young men and what the importance of it is, and what the importance of Joliet Catholic is. It's not about the final score. It's about perseverance and working and caring for one another. And then come here on a night like tonight and to be together. Gordy, my first year on the varsity, I was a junior. Gordy would give a lot of nicknames to guys. All right, and a lot of my classmates may know this, but we remember this, but he would call guys out by position first day of practice, and he's calling out the ends, Larry Lay, Dan Abens, Mick Janko, and then he goes, not so. And nobody moves. He goes, not so. Nobody moves. He goes, not so sharp, get over here. Well, you never think nicknames would stick, but for 20 years, fall nights out at the stadium, there was thousands of people at the stadium that still think I was not so sharp. But I want to tell you, I made 2 really good decisions. Out of the thousands and thousands, it's hard to believe, but I did think of 2 that I made that were good ones. The first one was saying yes to Sister Faith, which she asked me to come coach Hillman. It's the greatest 20 years of my life because I met you, and that you were in my life, and my family was a part of this, and my son went to this school. I was so blessed. That was my first good decision. The second decision I made that was the best decision was to say, Jake Jaworski, I want you to take over the program. So I snuck out to practice, kind of, tried to stay out of the way to watch a little bit. And I had this greatest feeling of pride. I'm watching these guys, and it's the Catholic Highway. It's Joliet Catholic way. It's the Hilltopper way. I felt this great feeling that I could let it go because I know the program's in good hands. And I was thinking to myself, I sure hope to God that when Gordy came out and watched us when I was coaching, that he felt that way. I hope I made him proud, the way Jake made me proud, watching him work. He's got a great coaching staff, the best men in the world. They're going to do a great job with your sons and this team. I've coached with them. I've coached them, many of them. And he surrounded himself with good people. He's got a work ethic that's second to none, and so does his staff. And he's got kids that are working hard and responding, because when they put on the brown jerseys, they know what it means. They know the standard that they have to live up to, and they understand the tradition. That tradition will go on, believe me. Be there to support him. Be patient as he puts his stamp on this program. But it is going to continue to be the Hillman. It is going to continue to be Joliet Catholic, and that standard of excellence will continue to go. The bar will continue to be raised. And I am so glad that I've been able to be a part of it. I'm so glad that I got to coach Jake. And I saw him then when he was, I'll tell you, he was a pint of piss. This guy, when he came here, he's probably, I don't know if he weighed 130 pounds when he was a varsity player. And we had him at wide receiver, and we had JR and Gruber and Klein. And so you knew how often we're going to throw the ball. So poor Jake, you know, he got in like 4 plays a game, and we decided to move. Well, let's take this little guy and move him to defense. Well, he was a hockey player, you know. And 3 games in a row in the playoffs, he knocked the best player on the opponent's team out of the game. Knocked him out of the game. 3 times, knocked their best player out. So he then became the Polish assassin. He ended up being junior year player of the game, and the state championship game next year was the captain. We won a 2nd title under him. That was our 3rd in a row. And now the Polish assassin is in charge of this program, you know. And those feelings that I get, I'll think back a few. I know we got to get Steve up here. I don't want to hold him up, but there's 2 things that were rushing through my mind, memories. And one of the things that's going is I didn't like the Yellow Rockets, right? And no, that got old. But I loved playoff away games. Guys we'd go to Central Illinois. We would go to Southernhill. We'd go up to Fox Lake. It was like, we go there and it was like the whole town was painted up in their school colors. They had ribbons and signs, and here we come. And we were in all white. God, did we look good in all white. Even JR senior year, he looked pretty good in all white. But we look good. And we come out walking 2 by 2, and there'd be a silence, and then a little gasp or a sound from the crowd as they saw him come walking out, because the guys were so confident, looked so good. The other team would be playing music and smoke, and they'd be running through banners and throwing confetti and pomps and circumstance. And our guys would just stand there on the sideline watching it, standing there patient, just waiting to go kick their ass. Those moments, being with those guys, the feelings, the sadness I feel inside when I say goodbye to the seniors, and the pride I feel when I see them today, and how successful they are when they graduated and gone on and started families of their own. To be able to walk these halls and work with these teachers, guys that coached me, Jim Borello, who's a great mentor of mine, and still is. He takes care of me and looks after me, and we're working on a goatee together, 2 of us, so we're going to be twins on the sidelines this year. But all those moments keep flooding today. I told Jeff this is wonderful. I've enjoyed it. It's the greatest wake I've ever been to. And I hope to be to many more of these events for Jake as he goes on. Now, this is the year of the 7, so I'm not putting any pressure on Jake. Right? We had 87, we had 77, we have 07. Well, this is the year of the 7, Jake. No pressure. But they will play with the effort that 77, 87, 07, and every single Hilltopper team that came before them. So without further ado, I want to introduce the next coach, the now present coach of your Joliet Catholic Hilltoppers, one of the finest young men I've ever met, and he's going to do a great job for all of you. Jake Jaworski. Love you, kid.
All right, thank you. It's overwhelming looking out at the crowd and seeing everybody here, from current players to parents to family to friends that were my teammates, and ever since we left the hill or the halls of Joliet Catholic have become family. So it's overwhelming. I'd like to thank everybody from the football program to welcome you to our tailgate party to kick off the 2017 season. Great turnout, beautiful weather. I was a little bit worried when the sun was shining and I had to get up on the stage that everybody would be able to see me. There wouldn't be too much of a glare, but we timed it out perfectly that we're good. A couple thank yous. I'd like to thank Jeff Phelan, president of the Alumni Association. When we kind of brainstormed this idea of having a kickoff party to get, and the concept behind it was to get our Joliet Catholic family or football family together to kick off a season. Jeff ran with the idea. Obviously a great time to honor Coach Sharp and everything that he did and has done and will continue to do for our program. And Jeff with the Alumni Association, Sue Bebar, Alumni Relations, did all the legwork to make this event happen. So thank you guys very much. To our alumni that are here, all right, we got a good crowd of alumni. I'm not much into business. I don't know much about products or anything like that. But when you think about Joliet Catholic and you think about the alumni involvement that support the school, not just the football program, but all the sports programs, they support the school, come out to games, come out to events like this. I think it's safe to say that Joliet Catholic puts together a pretty good product, all right? And people want to be a part of it. People want to stay connected. And I think that speaks volumes to what this school is all about. So thanks for all the alumni that are here and continue to support us near and far. I know guys are always trying to stay in tune through social media, whatnot, the Cube, WJOL radio. We have people all over the country that follow Hilltopper football and the school in general. So thanks to all of our alumni that are here. Special thank you to Dr. Buds and the administration at Joliet Catholic Academy and all the support that the football program gets throughout the year. We appreciate it, everything that you do. So thank you to the administration. To the football moms. To the football moms that did a lot of the legwork, the behind-the-scenes work to make this event happen, to get the raffle prizes and whatnot, to do additional fundraising to help supplement our budget. And thank you very much to the football moms. To my parents, Dee and Jeff, who've always been my biggest supporters in good times, in bad times. One of the greatest gifts they gave to me and my three brothers was sacrificing to allow us to become Hilltoppers. All right, and the experiences and the times that we've had and the friendships that we developed and the memories that we'll have for a lifetime is a special thanks for allowing us to come to this school and to experience what it is to be a part of Joliet Catholic. So thank you to my parents. To my beautiful and wonderful wife, Carrie, who for, 15, 16 years since we left the halls of Joliet Catholic, she's been by my side through good times, through bad times. Obviously, the sacrifices she's made to allow me to stay here and work at this wonderful place. She's the best mom there is to our three kids, and she allows me to be away from home a lot, which with three young kids, that's, bless her soul. All right, so thank you. For the rest of my family that's here tonight, across the way, to my friends who came out to support, I like to thank you guys too. So thanks for being here and for all your support throughout the years. To Coach Sharp, man, that was standing over there was really tough to. Said to Jeff Phelan, man, this is really tough to get up there and talk after this. But what can be said about Coach Sharp? There's not enough words that can describe the impact that he's had on our school community and the hundreds of football players and athletes that have been lucky enough to play to play for Coach. All right, we could go on forever with stories and the lives he's touched. And if you want to look at the coach and how some people evaluate a coach, well, look at his numbers. All right, look at his numbers. In 20 years at Joliet Catholic, he's got 199 wins. I'm not that great at math, but I'm guessing that's pretty close to 10 wins a season, just under 10 wins. 8 state championship appearances, 6 state titles. You could end there, and that's a pretty darn good coach. All right? But with Coach Sharp, it was never about the wins and losses. The wins and losses were kind of a byproduct of what he preached and what he demanded out of his players. Coach taught us what it meant to be hilltoppers, and he did it with a lot of passion. He taught us to work hard. He taught us to persevere. He taught us to battle adversity. He taught us to care for one another and to strive for excellence. And he demanded that every single day. Coach also had a knack for making you feel like you could accomplish anything. All right? Whether you just made a mistake, fumbled the ball, gave up a touchdown, he made you feel like, hey, we'll get him next time. Look back on a lot of the fond memories I have of playing and being lucky to be a part of 2 state championship teams. Some of the moments that kind of came up, I was lucky enough to be a part of the program where we went 41-1 over a 3-year period, all right, which is pretty darn impressive. Pretty darn impressive. But it wasn't always easy. It wasn't always easy. Sometimes on Friday nights it looked easy. But Monday through Thursday, it was work. It was work. And Coach demanded us to work. One memory, you look back at the Pontiac game. Semifinals, we're down in Pontiac, and it was one of those experiences where we got off 55 and we're driving through Pontiac and the whole town shut down and written, "Go Indians," the Indians, "Go Indians" all over the town and whatnot. It was a mad dash. It was cold as heck that day. And as soon as the gates opened, it was a mad dash on both sides for people to get into the stands. It was a small town. And it's kind of a back and forth game. We had a lead. They kind of came back, and they scored a touchdown with just over a minute to go to tie the game, 20-20. And one of those things Coach talked about was battling adversity when your back's against the wall. And here we are going through this run. There's a minute left in the game, and they're going to line up to kick the extra point to go up by 1. And it's kind of brings you back a little bit. And what was our guy doing? It's one of the things that's great about coming back and coaching with Coach Sharp is you get all the little details that as a player you didn't really know and all the side stories and whatnot. But tells a story, and they just scored a touchdown, tie game. They're going to kick the extra point, and one of their linemen is going like this to their crowd. He's raising his arms, cheering, "Let's go." And what was our defensive tackle doing? He's digging his spike in. Like, here we go. Our season's on the line. Not, oh, man, we just gave up this touchdown. They might kick the extra point to win it. And what do? That same defensive tackle plows through the line, opens up a gap. Linebacker comes through, gets his hand on the ball. Tie game, 20-20. Hilltoppers are still alive. We still got a pulse. They kick off. We get the ball, 20-yard line. Coach spreads them out, goes trips. We're going to throw the ball, right? No, we call it 21 counter. And our sophomore offensive tackle, as we break the huddle, is about to call timeout. Why was he going to call timeout? Well, why aren't we passing the ball? We're 80 yards away from the end zone, and there's a minute left in the game. Well, sure enough, 21 counter to JR. We get a second level block, third level block on the safety. He goes 80 yards for a touchdown. Hilltoppers on top. We get the 2-point conversion. We go up 28-20. A week later, Hilltoppers state champions. All right, but it was that situation where the game was on the line, and Coach taught us to dig a little bit deeper. When your back's against the wall, dig a little bit deeper, because that's what Hillmen do. They never give up. So just one of the or the fond memories I have playing for Coach and the values that he demanded out of us as players. Coach also had a way of teaching life lessons, and it was always about, you do it this way because in the future it's going to make you a better coworker. It's going to make you a better husband, and it's going to make you a better father. And I think that speaks volumes of the type of person he was. It was never about the wins and losses or the state championships. It was about being a better person. So thank you, Coach, for all the fond memories. Words can't describe what you've meant to the program, what you've meant to me. On behalf of everybody that's played for you, thank you very much. Thanks for being a great coach, a great friend, and a great mentor. I appreciate it. As far as the future of the program goes, we're excited. We're excited. I will promise you, Coach, from this day, it'll always be about developing boys into men. That will always be our focus. That will always be our number one goal. And I learned that from you, and I learned that from Coach Gillespie. We were lucky enough when we came through that Coach would come out to practice, and at that point, Gordy was in his chair, and he'd just call you over one-on-one. And you just learned so much in a 30-second conversation with Coach. It was unbelievable, and, he passed the torch to you, and, I'll try like heck to carry on that torch as we move forward. As we look to the season, we got a great group of guys. You see some of the guys out here volunteering their time to come out. We got an experienced group coming back who took a little bit of lumps last year. But I'll tell you what, they've attacked the offseason since December. Through Rudy's, through our Sunday morning trainings here at the school. Had a heck of a summer on the field, and we just completed our first week of practice, and we're excited. I'll promise you when you come out August 25th to Geneva, 13 days, you'll see a group that's relentless and a group that loves to compete. So thanks again for coming out, supporting the Hilltoppers as we move forward in the program. And Coach, I'll do my best to carry on the torch. Go Hill.
Good job, brother. Can you believe both those guys say they don't like public speaking? Sandbaggers. I'd like to recognize a couple of our sponsors that helped make this night possible. Terry Darcy and Darcy Motors. Thank you, Terry, for everything you do to support the Alumni Association and JCA. And no less, Frank Cerveniak, a Brother Rice alum, no less. The question is whether or not he has to be known as Frank Neal from this point forward. We'll sort that out later, but until then, he's a great, great supporter and a true honorary Hilltopper, and in fact, he is. He won honorary alum a couple of years ago, and deservedly so. Frank, thanks for everything you do for the program. All right, I'd like to call up Dr. Jeff Buds just to say a couple of quick words, and then we're going to get ready for a little hoedown.
Thanks, Jeff. Now you see the band getting ready? I'm not saying a couple words, I'm singing. Steven's just here to watch me sing tonight. Thanks, Steven. No, just real quick, thank you for coming out tonight to our beautiful Heritage Quad. We truly appreciate all the support you give to our school. We give a lot of thanks to our heritage, to our tradition, as Coach Sharp and Coach Jaworski talked about. The Franciscans and Carmelites, those who built this school, through a lot of prayers. And I'd like to start off, or continue tonight with just a bowing of our heads for a prayer to bless our football program, bless our school, bless our families. So we'll start. Dear Lord, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear Lord, please just bless the JCA community. Bless those that have given their time and talents and treasures to our school. Those that are less fortunate than us, bless those who are without food tonight, without a home. You are great, Lord. You have given us much. You have given us great family. You have given us great students, our JCA families, all of those who have put much time into our school. We can't thank you enough, Lord, for all you have given us. In this we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen. Our Lady of Mount Carmel, St. Francis of Assisi. name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. So, once again, thank you, Coach Sharp, for everything you've done for our school. It's tough following Coach Sharp and Coach Jaworski, so I'll be very, very brief. But thank you so much, Coach Sharp. And Coach Sharp has a little bit of a victory tour, starting with tonight. Next week, or not next week, September 1st, we are honoring Coach at our senior night, actually be Dan Sharp night also. So please come out to the game and see Coach Sharp get honored that night. And then Coach Sharp is being inducted this year into our Hall of Champions. So the next week, Coach continues the tour with our Hall of Champions induction. So a lot for Coach Sharp this year, and he deserves it. He's had a great career with us. And I'm so blessed that he's still on our staff as our AD, because he does care so much about our students. And I'm very excited, as Coach Sharp said too, that Jake Jaworski is taking over the program. He is going to be fantastic. He does everything that we ask him to do when it comes to, as in his own words, getting those boys to be men. He cares about the child, not just the football player. He cares about educating the complete person. He's an educator first. And so with that, we say good luck, Jake, this year and many years to come. We are very excited about you taking over the program. You will have a lot of success here at JCA. Once again, thank you for being here tonight. And I think I'm going to turn it back to Jeff Phelan. Thanks, Jeff. Oh, one more thank you. This beautiful layout tonight is because of Jeff Phelan and the Alumni Association and Sue Bebar, so I can't thank them enough for all their work. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, thank you, Dr. Buds. Thanks for Jeff's participation in that great decision that Dan made to have Jake join us, too. All right, let's get on with the fun. Before we do, I want to point out one thing. While Dan's on his victory tour, I'd like to ask everybody here to mark your calendars. Friday, September 8th, that same weekend as Hall of Champions, is the alumni golf outing. This year, it will be at the Joliet Country Club. Would love to see all the familiar faces and some new ones come and join us, all right? But tonight, let's get started with the guy who, in Hilltopper Nation, we know him as Steve Cerveniak. Country Nation knows him as Stephen Neal. Stephen, come on up and take over, bud. Hit it, bud.
All right, I'm not gonna do as much talking. We're gonna have some fun. I know you guys are beer drinkers out here. If we know anything about Hilltoppers and Angels. This first song is off my first EP here. Find it on Spotify. It's called Inside and Out. Baby, you don't need to be alone, but first I need to let go. Erase what you know, 'cause a guy like you don't have good intentions. He's got cheap tricks but nothing romantic. Give you the run around, well he's on the town. You're by yourself and you don't need anybody. But if you want something more than a hobby, know that I want more than just your body. I want to know like nobody else, inside and out. I want to know. It shouldn't be that hard finding someone to care about the kids about you. And it seems like time is working against you and you're working yourself to death. Wishing you had something better, but there's something better. Got up and left it, you don't deserve it. Stronger now than you ever were before. Baby, you don't need anybody. But if you want something more than a hobby, know that I want more than just your body. I want to know like nobody else, inside and out. Inside and out. I want to know like nobody else, inside and out. You ready to have some fun, Hilltoppers and Angels? Baby, you don't need anybody. But if you want something more than a hobby, know that I want more than just your body. I want to know like nobody else, inside and out. Inside and out. riding out. Hope we got some country music fans out there. It's good to see a lot of you familiar faces out here. I'm waiting for a Jim Borello comment. The rain is coming down tonight. I'm smiling looking at this photograph. Hate that song and I'm flying right back to when we had it made. Every Friday night when the sun went down, we were running them streets like we own the town. And I just can't get enough. No, I just can't get enough. I wonder if you ever think about it like I do. See the kids on the 2-lane road and the guns on the radio. After all this time, it still feels so good when I think about those summer nights, singing out the window to the back road. Sweet child of mine, sipping on the local sparkling light. Ain't it funny how the best days of our lives out there wasted time? Oh, that wasted time. Out of nowhere, it slipped away. Rolled by the river, hang silently in a town that we knew ain't nothing like it used to be. No, I can't explain. They took all the color from the picture frame, then sold it all to the grit and the grain. And I just can't get enough. No, I just can't get enough. I wonder if you ever think about it like I do. See the kids on the 2-lane road and the guns on the radio. After all this time, it still feels so good. I think about those summer nights, singing out the window, the back room, sweet child of mine, sipping on the road, sparkling light. Ain't it funny how the best days of our lives all that wasted time, all that wasted time, swinging out on the line, all that wasted time. Jeff Glasscock, everybody, come on. Dresses hanging off with the hood of the car. The music that we had was at the left speaker. We're living every second till the time ran out. There's nothing though we had it all. We think about those summer nights, singing out the window to the back road. Sweet child of mine, singing off the local sparkle lights. Ain't it funny how the best days of our lives all that wasted time, all that wasted time, swinging out on the line, all that wasted time. Take it away, boys. What's going on? Everyone having fun yet? We're gonna wake it back up. There's a lot of beer over in that cooler, so we don't want to let Mr. Giadroni and Mr. Borello go home with that. So we gotta make sure we drink it all, because we've seen those guys out there partying. But it's so cool to be back here, my hometown. If you guys missed it at Taste of Joliet, we were out there earlier this year with Billy Currington and that. And, you know, it's great to have so many of you familiar faces that have been supporting this journey for me along the way, just like you guys support everyone else that
goes and ventures out on their way of Joliet Catholic. And it's a cool family that we have here. But this next song here is off this new EP that I have, and thank you for all of you that have been pushing it out there and spinning it. It's a little something when you have someone coming back into your life that need to stay there and need to quit trying to rain on your parade when you're moving on. This song's called Heartstrings.
If I told you once, I told you twice. Now it's gonna hurt when we could have been nice. Thought we already said goodbyes, but you keep crawling back into my life. Your apology was never sincere, probably hard to do, since you never really cared. Like an attitude melody, nobody listens when you blame on me. So don't go play with my heart like I'm playing guitar. Don't go pulling on my strings, then breaking me hard. Don't hold out your hand like you wanna walk together. No, you just wanna pull me down so you can feel better now. Don't play with my heart. Don't play with my heart. Don't even start playing with my heart. What would we do if we tried round two? It just keeps going like a game to lose. Is your soul that numb? Is your heart that cold? Have you played every morning with just that bored? I've been seeing someone else, she don't cut me down. She's the kind of girl you bring home to mama and you build your life around. So don't go play with my heart like I'm playing guitar. Don't go pulling on my strings, then breaking me hard. Don't hold out your hand like you wanna walk together. No, you just wanna pull me down so you can feel better now. Don't play with my heart. Don't play with my heart. Don't even start playing with my heart. So don't go play with my heart like I'm playing guitar. Don't go pulling on my strings, then breaking me hard. Don't hold out your hand like you wanna walk together. No, just wanna pull me down so you can feel better now. Don't play with my heart. Don't play with my heart. Don't even start playing with my heart.
You guys want to have some fun later rocking out to this music? It's on Spotify and iTunes and all that good place. And you can go ask one of my biggest fans and supporters, Francis Rudiger. He'll tell you exactly where you can get the music at, right? Time to turn this thing into a party.
You're on the couch, blowing up my phone. Don't wanna go out, but you don't wanna be alone. Don't take the two to have a little soiree. You're in the mood, sit tight right where you are, babe, 'cause I'll be at your door in 10 minutes. Whatever you got on, girl, stay in. You need to leave the house to have a good time. Bring the good time home with you. We'll have a house party, we don't need nobody. Turn that TV off, crank that boombox out. We'll wake up all the neighbors till the whole block hates us, till the cops show up, try to shut us down. If you wanna be a homebody, we're gonna have a house party. If you wanna be a homebody, we're gonna have a house party. Throw a neon t-shirt over the lampshade. I'll take the furniture furniture, slide it out of the way, shaking the floor, rattling the roof. You're in the mood, right in your living room. We'll have a house party, we don't need nobody. Turn that TV off, crank that boombox out. We'll wake up all the neighbors till the whole block hates us, till the cops show up, try to shut us down. If you wanna be a homebody, we're gonna have a house party. If you wanna be a homebody, we're gonna have a house party, yeah. I'll be at your door in 10 minutes. Whatever you got on, girl, say it. You don't need to leave the house to have a good time. I bring the good time home to you. We'll have a house party, we don't need nobody. Turn that TV off, crank that boombox out. We'll wake up all the neighbors till the whole block hates us, till the cops show up, try to shut us down. If you wanna be a homebody, we're gonna have a house party. If you wanna be a homebody, we're gonna have a house party. For all you old-time country fans. It started way back in 3rd grade. I used to sit beside Emmylou Hayes, pink dress, matching bow in a ponytail. Kissed me on the school bus, but told me not to tell. Next day I'd chase around the playground, cross the monkey bars and the merry-go-round. Emmylou got caught passing me a note. Before the teacher took it, I read what she wrote. Do you love me? Do you want to be my friend? And if you do, well then don't be afraid to take me by the hand. If you want to, this is how love goes. Check yes and no. Now I'm grown up and she's my wife. Still like 2 kids with the stars in our eyes. Ain't much changed, I still chase Emmylou up and down the hall round, bed in a room. Last night I took a ride in a white limousine. 20 years together, she's still guessing me. Can't believe it was that long ago when we got started. But just to let them know, do you love me? Do you want to be my friend? And if you do, well then don't be afraid to take me by the hand. If you want to, think this is how love goes. Check yes or no, and check yes or no. Do you love me? Do you want to be my friend? And if you do, well then don't be afraid to take me by the hand. If you want to, I think this is how love goes. Check yes or no, and check yes or no. check yes or no. And check yes or no. I wish you did Sweet Home. Go for it. Keep on turning, carry me home to see my kin, singing songs about the Southland. Miss Alabama once again, I think it's a sin, yeah. Heard O'Neill talk about her. Heard me see young, put it down. O'Neill Young still remembers. The Southern man don't need him around anyhow. Come on. Sweet home Alabama, where the skies are blue. Sweet home Alabama, Lord, I'm coming home to you. That's right. In Birmingham, they love the governor, and we all did what we could do. Now Watergate does not bother me. Does your conscience bother you? Now tell the truth. Come on. Sweet home Alabama, where the skies are blue. Sweet home Alabama, Lord, I'm coming home to you. That's right. Now most shores they got the swamper, been known to write a song or two. Yes, you do. Lord, they get me off so much. You pick me up when I'm feeling blue. Now how about you? Sweet home Alabama, where the skies are blue. Sweet home Alabama, Lord, I'm coming home to you. Let's do it again, come on. Sweet home Alabama, where the skies are blue. Sweet home Alabama, Lord, I'm coming home to you. That's right.
We having fun yet, Hilltoppers and Angels? So you guys met. This is my third year doing it. I actually I quit my job last year, July 1st. Not my dad's favorite thing to talk about, but I moved down to Nashville and we've been traveling all over the country. So some of you might have seen me my first year on stage ever playing music, and I grew up playing baseball. Graduated in 2009 on that cool team, and then we had one state. But This is kind of my new thing. It's the new competition. This is my new team up here, and I'll introduce you to them later. But this song, Baby's Got Me Buzzing, is one of the first things that gave me the confidence to get on stage with guys like Chris Young and Joe Nichols and go around the country doing this thing. So, without further ado.
Whoa, I'm sipping on a sweet, sweet loving. As a bourbon, she's got me swerving. One smile from her gets me every time, like the Tennessee whiskey. I'm drunk off her touch, it's the feeling that I love, spinning my head all over. Lemon drop kiss from her sugar sweet lips, pulling this truck right over. She's my whiskey on the rocks, another Yankee shot, my tequila lime sweet on my tongue. She's my blue moon, gray goose, double shot, get me loose, sweet sugar, something pour really strong. And oh, I'm sipping on a sweet, sweet loving. Little fireball while comes running through my mind, through my heart, ain't nothing like the way my baby's got me buzzing. Used to be now all-nighter, out with the boys, getting a little lighter. Ain't the same moonshine I'm drinking tonight, she still got me feeling that fire. She's my whiskey on the rocks, another Yankee shot, my tequila lime sweet on my tongue. She's my blue moon, gray goose, double shot, get me loose, sweet sugar, something pour really strong. And oh, I'm sipping on a sweet, sweet loving. Little fireball while comes running through my mouth, through my heart, ain't nothing like the way my baby's got me buzzing. Yeah, she's the top shelf kind of girl, the one you give the world just to taste. One sweet kiss for feeling like this. Whoa, I'm sipping on a sweet, sweet loving. Whiskey on the rocks, another Jaeger shot, my tequila lime sweet on my tongue. She's my blue moon, gray goose, double shot, get me loose, sweet sugar, something pour really strong. And oh, I'm sipping on a sweet, sweet loving. Little fireball while comes running through my mind, through my heart, ain't nothing like the way my baby's got me buzzing. Yeah, she's got me buzzing. That real good, feel good stuff up on the seat of my big black jacked up truck. Rolling on 35s, baby girl by my side. You got this suntan boot and skirt, waiting for you to look my way and skirt. I'd sail over here, you'll grab me another beer, yeah. All them other boys wanna line you up and take you downtown, but you look like the kind that wants to take you way out where the cornrows roll my boat up and down the Flint River. Kids and stuff, live a catfish dinner, gonna sound like a winner when I lay you down to love you right. That's my kind of night. Whoa. I'd sit down on my dime and play tailgate in my country rock, hip hop mixtape. Bill Conway, Little T-Pain might just make it rain. You can hang your t-shirt on a limb. Hit that bank and we can ease on in. Force a little moonshine, girl, you know what I like. Yeah, all them other boys wanna line you up and take you downtown, but you look like the kind that wants to take you way out. I'd wear the cornrows, roll my boat up and down the Flint River. Gives us up a little catfish dinner. Gonna sound like a winner when I lay you down and love you right. That's my kind of night. Whoa, oh, oh. My kind of, your kind of, this kind of night. We dance in the dark and your lips land on mine. Whoa, gonna get our buzz on. Whoa, time to get your love on. All them other boys wanna line you up and take you downtown, but you look like the kind that wants to take you away. Yeah, out where the cornrows roll my boat up and down the Flint River. Gives us up a little catfish dinner. Gonna sound like a winner when I lay you down and love you right. That's my kind of night. 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 This music thing is kind of new to me. I didn't grow up doing it, but I went to a lot of concerts growing up, and I just went to Joliet Catholic being inspired that I can always do something better with my life, so that's how I ended up here. You were in the crowd, but the only girl I saw. I was down and oh, if you were into me at all. 'Cause I love the way you get me to dance, sing along. Catch those feelings again, I thought when good is gone. Like the first sunshine on an early April morning. So I said, I love cold beer on a Friday night with all my friends, kicking it up like rebels till 2 a.m. But I trade it in if you give it a chance to get lost in the moment. You said, ain't no harm in it, just lay on my leg, lay on my leg. It wasn't the first time, but it was the best time of my life. 'Cause we were falling in love under the summer concert lights. Now when we hear those songs from the fairy tale night, you turn to me with a smile shining in your eyes. Asked me to tell you again what I said to you that night. So I said, I love cold beer on a Friday night with all my friends, kicking it up like rebels till 2 a.m. But I trade it in if you give it a chance to get lost in the moment. You said, ain't no harm in this, just lay on my leg. And turn around my life. Those nerves ain't nothing to what I'm feeling here tonight. Now I'm on my knee asking if you would be my wife. If there ain't no harm in a kiss, all I need is yes. And you said, I love cold beer on Friday night with all my friends, kicking it up like rebels till 2 a.m. And I trade it in if you give it a chance to get lost in the moment. And you said, ain't no home in a kiss, just lay on my lip, lay it on my, lay it on my, lay it on my lips.
It's always special being here in Joliet, playing in front of you all. So we're gonna do this one last time.
I love cold beer on a Friday night with all my friends, kicking it up like rebels till 2 a.m. But I trade it in if you give it a chance, getting lost in the moment. And you said, ain't no harm in a kiss, just lay on my lip. 2, 3, come on! She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus, in America too. She's a good girl, crazy about Elvis, loves horses, getting boyfriend too, yeah, yeah. It's a long day living in Rosita. There's a freeway cutting through the yard, and I'm a bad boy, 'cause I don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart. Yes, I'm free. Free falling. Yes, I'm free. Free falling. All the vampires walk through the valley of West Town, Ventura Boulevard. All the bad boys living in the shadows. All the good girls, the home and broken hearts. Yes, I'm free. Yes, I'm free. Free falling. Free falling, I'm a 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 free falling. That's Jeff Glasscock to my right. He's another Joliet boy here. You guys ready? Full moon shining bright. It's just the water we were feeling alright. Back down the country road, the girls are always hot and the beer is ice cold. Cadillac horns on the hood. My buddy Frankie and his dad come up good. Girls smiled when we drove by there. I've been the back till we cruised to the riverside. Whoa, we're never gonna grow up. Whoa, we're never gonna slow down. Whoa, we were shining like lighters in the dark in the middle of a rock show. Whoa, we were doing it right. Whoa, we were coming alive. Whoa, yeah, caught up in the southern summer, barefoot Virginia. Blue eyes, auburn hair, sitting looking pretty by the fire in a lawn chair. New to town and new to me. Her ruby red lips were sipping on sweet tea. She made her look like a shooting star, so I grabbed the beer and my old guitar. Then we sat around till the break of dawn, howling and singing our favorite song. Whoa, never gonna grow up. Whoa, never gonna slow down. Whoa, we were shining like lighters in the dark in the middle of a rock show. Whoa, we were doing it right. Whoa, coming alive. Yeah, caught up in the southern summer, barefoot blue jeans. Whoa, never gonna grow up, never gonna slow down. We were shining like lighters in the dark in the middle of a rock show. We were doing it right. We were coming alive. Yeah, caught up in the southern summer, barefoot blue jean night. Barefoot blue jean night. Barefoot blue jean night. Barefoot blue jean night.
I think Jeff Allen had a few words, or did we lose him already? Was that you that got skunked? Is that why you're up here?
Hey everybody, me again one more time. Couple of reminders. Food is open until 9 o'clock. If you haven't gotten some, get over there now. All right, food's open till 9. Bar is still open and will continue to be open for a while. The 50-50 is still open. Get after it right now. You can win $50. All right, and lastly, see any of these Hilltopper football players walking around, remember to buy some raffle tickets. We do have raffle prizes coming up and a special surprise at the end of the night, so stick around. Thanks, everybody. Back to Stephen.
You guys may have heard this one spinning sometimes on 98.3. And if you guys were at Taste of Joliet, this is the new song that we're definitely pushing around, and some stations are picking up here and there, slowly spinning once in a while. So if you guys keep calling and pushing it, this is my version of a love song. It's called Forgetting Everything.
Earth sky off the falling horizon, the warm air on your skin is my breath. Our hand, our lips, our eyes locked in, forgetting everything, forgetting everything. Your body moves like a flyer in the wind, a heartbeat can't help but quickening. You whispering my name, I love your little games, forgetting everything, forgetting everything. Oh, you know you got me falling all apart. Oh, so tell me when to start. Every kiss, every touch, got my mind burning up off you. When the cold spin me down, I mean lifetime's running out, we got nothing to lose. And now you know I made you like I never been before. Just the two of us catching up, making up. We can seem like a dream, forgetting everything. Like a new t-shirt, a new pair of jeans. Your body knows where to go, all over me. Funny about our clothes, never know where to go. Can find a single thing, forgetting everything. Your hand grips and my mind slips away, just like your pants, singing along to your favorite song, love with tongue and tongue. Your body is a wonderland, can't get enough of that. Oh, you know you got me falling all apart, yeah. Oh. So tell me when to start. Every kiss, every touch, got my mind moving up off you. Hold me close, put me down, love me like time's running out, and we got nothing to lose. Oh, and now you know I made you like I've never been before. Just the two of us catching up, making love. We can sing it like a dream, forgetting everything, forgetting everything, forgetting everything, forgetting everything. So tell me when it's done. Every kiss, every touch, got my mind running up all for you. Hold me close, put me down, love me like time's running out. We got nothing to lose. Oh, 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 now you know, baby, like I've never been before. It's the two of us catching up, making love. We can see like a dream, forget everything, and everything, and everything. Getting everything.
This song's a little throwback for me. I know Rudy knows this one. So, Rudy's been one of my biggest supporters, and just like most Hilltoppers could probably say, it's really awesome and lets me come work out when I'm at home, and not being around and moving around the country and living in Nashville has been taking a wing over my brother. So I want to say thank you to Rudy, and thank you to all you other Hilltoppers and Angels that have done that, taken my family in, that we care so much about. But this song right now is called Hell Yeah.
Lights down, turn the DJ off, grab a couple beers and find that spot you rock it and get your money's worth. That 40-hour week, kiss this can or raise it up, pour it down, time to forget. There's only one thing that's burning on your mind. You've been waiting on this all damn day. Feel that rush of the song deep in your veins. Now we're yelling, hell yeah. Wanna hear that song played all week long. Alright, alright. Drum will sway side to side, got the buzz on, buzz on. Keep it coming till the break of dawn. Been waiting on this all damn day. Feel that rush of the song deep in your veins. Now we're yelling, hell yeah, hell yeah. Mile away, she caught your eye. Sweet thing, cut jeans, heart on fire. Gotta find a way to get her on back home. She's a spark in your blood, kick a beat in your heart. Sweat drip, her kiss, skin that you love. The sweet sensations whispering in your ear. You might dance her all the way back home. She's drawing hearts around her name in your phone. Now we're yelling, hell yeah. Wanna hear that song played all week long. Alright, alright. Drum will sway side to side, get the buzz on, buzz on. Keep it coming till the break of dawn. Been waiting on this all damn day. Feel that rush of the song deep in your veins. Now we're yelling, hell yeah, hell yeah. Let the music take control. Feel that flame go, whoa, whoa, whoa. So alive tonight. Hell yeah. Wanna hear that song played all week long. Alright, alright. Drum will sway side to side, get the buzz on, buzz on. Keep it coming till the break of dawn. Been waiting on this all damn day. Feel that rush of the song deep in your veins. Now we're yelling, hell yeah, hell yeah.
I know there's got to be some drunk angels out there. That didn't sound good. Got a little boom in my big truck. Gonna open up the doors, turn it up. Gonna stop my boots in the Georgia mud. Watch you make me fall in love. Get up on the hood of my daddy's train. Up on toolbox, it don't matter. Down the tailgate, girl, I can't wait to watch you do your thing. Shaking for the young butt sitting in the honky tonk. Rednecks rocking to the break of dawn. DJ spinning that country song. Come on, come on, come on. Shake for the birds, shake for the bees, shake for the catfish swimming down deep in the creek. Crickets and the critters and the squirrels, shaking to the moon, shaking for me, girl. Oh, country girl, shaking for me, girl, shaking for me, girl, shake it for me. Country girl, shaking for me, girl, shaking for me, girl, shake it for me. By the sweet little farmer child. She got it in the blood, get a little wild. Ponytail and a pretty smile. Rolled me in from a country mile. Coming over here and get in my arms. Spin me around this big old farm. Tear me up like grandma's yawn, baby. Hey, hey, hey. Shaking for the young butt sitting in the honky tonks. Rednecks rocking till the break of dawn. DJ spinning that country song. Come on, come on, come on. Shaking for the birds, shaking for the bees, shaking for the catfish swimming down deep in the creek. Crickets and the critters and the squirrels, shaking to the moon, shaking for my girl. Oh, hey, country girl, shaking for me, girl, shaking for me, girl, shake it for me. Country girl, shaking for me, girl, shaking for me, girl, shake it for me. Come on, boys. Like a dandelion at the wind on the hill underneath the pine, yeah, move like a river flows, feel a kick drum down deep in the tunnels. All I wanna do is get to know you, get to hold you, get to show you, get to loving you for the night is through. Baby, you know what to do. Shaking for the young butt sitting in the honky tonk. Rednecks rocking till the break of dawn. DJ spinning that country song. Come on, come on, come on. Shake for the birds, shake for the bees, shake for the catfish swimming down deep in the creek. Crickets and the critters and the squirrels, shaking to the moon, shaking for my girl. Oh, hey, country girl, shaking for me, girl, shaking for me, girl, shake it for me. Country girl, shake it for me, girl, shake it for me, girl, shake it for me. Come on. Country girl, shake it for me, girl, shake it for me, girl, shake it for me. Country girl, shake it for me, girl, shake it for me, girl, shake it for me. Well, I'm down to my last bullet here, but I want to introduce my band a little bit. This is my team now, like I said earlier. We've had some guys come and go along the way. 3 years now to run it. But obviously you can't do awesome things without awesome people. So from Joliet, Illinois, I want to introduce my good buddy, Patrick Lowry. From Toledo, Ohio, on the bass, slapping it real hard tonight, Josh McCaffrey. Enough of that Cleveland fan. We're gonna bring it from Atlanta, Georgia. Just came off the ring tour. Ah, dropped the bomb again. Chance Chambers. around me, to my right, half the man that he used to be. It's an inside joke. Our buddy from Joliet, Jeff Glasscock. The song's called Hot Damn. In the backseat, but I had to take the cab, baby, cause you had your lips locked on me, beating down my body. What did I do to turn you on? Tell me how I ended up at your home. It's now 10 in the morning and you're still morning, still you want more of me. Hot damn, I love when ain't no time to waste. What you crave on your command. There ain't no time to waste. Take what you crave on your command. Hot damn, I love when you whisper when all the dirty you're about to do. Hot damn, I love that. There ain't no time to waste. Take what you crave on your command. Hot damn, hot damn, hot damn. Thank you so much for having me out. This night's not over. Sue B-Bar and the alumni staff, thank you so much. And stick around. They got a little video for Dan Sharp, Coach Dan Sharp. Thank you so much.
One more time with the annoying guy in the mic. Hey, listen, I want to ask everybody if you could come up to the front just one more time. We have a little special surprise here. Even Dan doesn't know about this. Coach, Sharpie is still here? Everybody come up to front. We've got a little video presentation. Really like everybody to see. I promise you will be impressed. And listen, while everybody's on their way up to the front, I want to introduce somebody else to the Hilltopper community. Right here in front of me near the victory light, we have a new wrestling coach. Now I know, most of you say, there's wrestling at JCA? Well, let me tell you something. We have a new wrestling coach. His name is Ryan Cumby. Ryan, raise your hand and wave for a second. I promise you this. In no time at all, that will go from Hilltopper Wrestling to Hilltopper Wrestling. Ryan, if you don't know, just joined JCA this year as a head wrestling coach after a very storied career at Providence and a coaching career at Providence, and then went on to build an absolute powerhouse at Marmion, and he's here with us right now. And I'm going to tell you something. A couple of years from now, Ryan Cumby will have left a fantastic mark and a long way to go. He's here with his wife, Rebecca, and his kids. Everybody welcome Ryan. No, you got to watch this. Yeah, I need you. All right, everybody. If I could have everybody turn your attention to the video screen, we've got a little special video presentation here for Coach Dan.
Coach, it's hard to put into words everything you've done for Joliet Catholic and especially the football program.
Hey, Coach Sharp. Not really sure how I or any other Hilltopper could ever possibly say thank you for everything you've done for Joliet Catholic.
When I think about Coach Sharp, the word that comes to mind is belief.
There's something to be said about a man whose words stick with you years and years after really being around them.
Right now. Come on, boys. Take a knee. Clam up, clap up. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Hey, seniors, I can't tell you how important this is to you guys.
Coach Sharp, I'll never forget this as long as I live. 1997, I get a phone call from a man I don't know. And he says his name is Dan Sharp. And I heard of Dan Sharp, but I never met him in person. And then you asked me, you identified yourself, and then you asked me to be part of your staff. It was like a dream come true because I've always wanted to be part of Joliet Catholic history.
Coach always believed in Joliet Catholic and doing things the right way in the community, in the double wing offense, and that every play is a touchdown. We all know that. Any ex-player, we've all heard it. I still hear it in my sleep sometimes.
It's not only what you teach the kids about football, Dan, it's what you teach our kids about life and what they learn and go on and become great in their lives also. And you can see it in the Joliet community, the kids that have played for you in the past, all the great things that they have done, and the kids that you've helped out in this from Joliet Catholic.
When it comes to work on the field and even things off the field, there are many things that you taught me that I still abide by to this day and think about.
In all our years working together, I witnessed the love and dedication you have for Joliet Catholic football and saw the tireless hours you and your staff put in week after week. You made every team and every young man feel special.
Thank you, Dan, for everything you do for JCA. You are Mr. JCA. Thank you.
You've given them numerous state championships. You put Joliet Catholic football on the map on a national level. You've been such a positive influence in so many people's lives on and off the field.
The first time that we actually met Coach Sharp, I think it was '97, when he first got to school. He called the sophomore class to the stage. I think there's about 20 of us. And the first thing out of your mouth was, "Is this all of them?"
I do feel that there was a brief period there where JCA was not the story tradition that Catholic High was, and it was kind of missing its identity. I feel that when you came over to JCA that you brought that Hilltopper tradition with it. It is something that most of us will never be able to repay you or thank you enough for.
Some call the greatest high school football game in the state of Illinois history. Kind of a back and forth affair for most of the second half. Our defense backs ended up being against the wall. We're up by 6 points. We get good pressure on him. He scrambles up the middle, but Chris Meinertz gets known for knocking the last pass down of the game for us.
I was able to knock down the pass to put us into the semifinals for the state. It was a special moment for me, the Joliet Catholic program, and definitely something that will stay with the program for a long time.
What you meant to me, a lot. I wouldn't be where I am as a man and as a football player if it wasn't for you pushing me, getting me through any adversity, which helped me become the person I am today.
Coach Sharp, congratulations on a great career. Thank you for the sacrifice and commitment you made to Joliet Catholic. You've made it a truly special place. I know you won't go too far from the program. If you're anything like your mentor, go Hill.
First off, I just want to thank you for everything you've done for me and my family, but most importantly me, and helping me get to where I want to be, to live out my dream, and giving me the opportunity to play football at JCA. But I just want you to know I love you.
You were right. We are champions, and there's a lot of kids that you coach that can say the same thing.
Coach Sharp never stressed winning. He stressed hard work and preparation, and that promoted success. Thank you, Coach Sharp, for providing so many of us with a foundation for success.
So many great stories, so many memories. The one that sticks out to me the most is 2 days into freshman football camp, you having to call my house and ask me to come out and try football because I might like it. I myself owe a lot to you, as I'm sure a lot of other your former players do as well.
I owe a lot of my success to you. I mean, you've coached me since I was 10 years old. We've had this vision of winning a state championship my senior year since I was 10 years old.
The other one is a little bit more personal, and I think it reflects greatly on the person that you are, and I thanked you for the time when it actually happened, but for you to stick your neck out for me to get into the University of Illinois for football, and although it didn't work out from a football perspective, it got me into the school of my dreams, and really, quite frankly, set the stage and the platform for my success professionally. So a day doesn't go by that I don't think of something like that and it really means the world to me. So you didn't have to do that, and you did, and I said it, and it obviously says a lot about who you are. So I love you, Coach.
Thank you for not just what you did on the field, but what you did for our family off the field. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Sharp, for 20 years of football success and helping us become the men we are today. Go Hill! Go Hill!
There are two ways to judge any coach. One is wins and losses, and the other is, did you leave the program better than the way you found it? Without a doubt, Coach Sharp, you've done that, and for that, we'd like to thank you from the Joliet Catholic family.
You know, always supported me, always pushed me to be better, so, you know, for that, I can't thank him enough.
Hey, Coach Sharp, Kobe Fleener here. Just want to say congratulations on your retirement, and thank you for all that you've done for me, for my teammates, for all the students that have come through Joliet Catholic, and what you've done for JCA as a community and as a school. We are better for it. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Coach Sharp, I want to personally give you a sincere thank you, and I want to let you know how fortunate I really feel to have been coached by you, and also proud to be able to say I was part of the first team to bring you a state championship.
What you instilled in every single one of your players is that when we put that victory light on our helmet, it meant something special. It meant we were part of something bigger, that we were playing for all those families, but it was also a way that you carry yourself both on and off the field. It's hard work. It's dealing with adversity and overcoming obstacles. And you did that through example. You did that through your leadership. I think that's what defines your legacy, Coach. It's not 6 state titles. It's the hundreds of men you've helped develop over the years. That's your championship. And we love you. We thank you. I know you're passing off to a guy that's going to carry that tradition on.
Coach Sharp, congratulations on your retirement. You've made a profound impact on this program, and I am proud to be called a Hilltopper.
For teaching us what it truly means to be a Hilltopper. On behalf of the 1999 state championship team, thank you, and cheers to the next chapter of your legacy. Go Hill.
Cheers to Coach Sharp. Let's party like it's 1999. Go Hill and gung ho.
I'm over here.
And think about. So I just hope that you have a blessed retirement, and congratulations on a great career as a coach and as an AD. And I'm just blessed to have been a part of it. Coach, I love you. I'm out. See ya.
Great team, great fans, great alumni. The Hill is back on top where it belongs. 2, 3. Joliet got to work for you. Get that medal and that fight. Hey, so get high. We'll make you colors brown and white. Fight.
So, Coach, as you enter your next chapter in your life, I hope you get some rest, get away, and enjoy. But I'd like to wish you congratulations and thank you. All right, and thank you for not only teaching me, but the hundreds of other athletes that came through Joliet Catholic that you taught what it meant to be a Hilltopper.
You brought so much spirit and pride back to the school. I don't know if it could be measured. You won't realize it till years down the road. But I'm an alumni too, and I feel part of that pride. And what you guys have done for this school, for our community, for all of Joliet, is amazing. You work hard every day. You never give up. You never, ever, ever give up. In a tough time when there's critics out there and a lot of things going on in society today, you stood tall. And you were winners. But you were winners before we won any trophies. You were winners the minute you walked down the field. You were winners as men. You believed in each other. You cared about each other. And you put it on the line for each other. I am so proud of you. And I love you so much. You are truly, truly champions. Way before the final score was ever done today. You are what Joliet Catholic Academy is all about.
All right, we have a little presentation following that, just something to remember the night by. First off, a picture. Now that's Sharpie right there, right? Great picture, everybody. Actually, that's 16. That's my son in there, too. I remember that game. That's Marion Central Catholic. Awesome. Remember it with pride, bud? We've got a copy of the video for you. No bootlegging. This is copyrighted. We will trace this very carefully. You can watch it as many times as you want, though.
I got time to do it now. So.
I know Jake says that. You're sort of hovering quite a bit. Congratulations again. Thanks, bud.
And I love all you guys. Every guy that I coached, I love so much. Even though sometimes I wanted to punch you in the Adam's apple. To all the great coaches that I coach with, Rudy, thank you. Dave Douglas, we've been together all these years. Coach Mack, Coach Rudy, when you said yes, it was the greatest thing. So all the guys that have ever touched my lives, I'm a better man because I've coached you fellas. And I meant it when I said that you are everything that's great about this school. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach. Give it up for the big guy.